Turn Up the Talk podcast, tackling mental health together.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Turn Up the Talk. You're joined by Paddy, Lochie, and Luca. Luca, welcome, man.
Yeah, I know, boys. It's been a while.
Hot minute. What's been going
Been
on?
a hot minute. No, I've just been with the Parramatta Eels for the last couple months since November. So I've just been trying to crack down and get myself a contract. So,
We are going to go into that in a little bit more depth. Before we start, guys, and get into it, once again, we're recording at the Radio Hub Studios, brought to you by the Clovelly Hotel. Also, a few things coming up. So this Saturday, the 19th of June, we're going to be down at Coogee Beach with Bro Chats, good friend of ours, and we're going to be doing some relaxation breath work. Sunrise, Sunday morning, sober. It'll be good. So if you want to come, it's free tickets. If you head to Bro Chats, bro_chats_ on Instagram, you do have to book your spot, but it is free. So sign up there. And also next Tuesday, the 22nd?
21st.
The 21st, we're going to be at the Clovelly Hotel again for a comedy night with the man Will Gibb and, of course, the Inspired Unemployed. So obviously some pretty big comics there. We're going to be doing a fundraiser event for us, and obviously they're going to be doing their comedy. So those tickets will sell out pretty quick. I know we're capped at how many we can hold, so those tickets will come on sale by the time this podcast's out. So make sure you head over to Will Gibbs' Instagram page or ours, and we'll put the link in our bio. Come say hello and see the boys.
Maybe there might not be 200 pizzas, but there'll be
242. So we did
There'll
solve
be
that.
some pizzas. There won't be 240 pizzas.
what happened to Subway?
Pat
So
mentioned
you
that
can
the
explain.
Clovelly Hotel does 240 pizzas a night.
So what
They do
happened was
240.
at the Clovelly Hotel on the comedy
different
nights.
types of pizzas. We had a lot of angry people DM us about how there was only 6 or 7 types of pizza at the Clovelly Hotel, and that was a foresight.
No, there's more than
on
6 or 7. But what happened
Pat's
was
behalf.
Clovelly Hotel have a big sign saying 2 for 1. Like 2 for the price of 1. And I thought it was 241 pizzas. It said 2 for 1 pizzas. And I was like,
Did I have
fuck.
the number 4?
There's, yeah, 2 for 1. But they've spelt it, it looks like 241. So I've gone in full battling for the Chloe Hotel. Obviously, me versus Lochie, I really wanted to get one over him. Being a teacher and all, he normally has one over me. And he was all right. It's 2 for 1 on a Tuesday. So do get down there. It is good.
That's just bad marketing from them.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the best marketers I know.
Our main sponsor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Fix your shit.
Wow, that's massive. Take it back.
What's your
take it
favourite?
back.
What's your go-to pizza? I had a Gambari last night. I was up at the Northern Beaches at the Newport Arms. Definitely Clovelly Hotel beats it for the pizza and for just everything in general. You want vibes, cocktails, everything. You know, the Clovelly Hotel down number 1. But
Vibes.
what's your go-to? I had a Gambari.
That's the prawn one, eh?
Yeah,
Many good?
very good. But my other question is, have a think. What's your favourite?
I love just a basic pepperoni.
Nah. I gotta go meat lovers. I reckon
Yeah, that's good.
just pepperoni's a bit rogue. It's a bit
reckon?
heavy.
Childish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit spicy.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with spice.
Nothing wrong with spice.
Gamburi's spicy, isn't it?
Little bit, yeah.
They got a bit of few chili
I'll
flakes.
tell you
on
what I
it.
used to do. I was on this diet, like some carnivore diet for a bit. And what the bloke told me to do was like go get a pizza, scrape all the toppings off it, like off the bread, and just eat it.
Just the base.
Just the base. No, not the bread, but like the toppings. Just eat the toppings.
You just eat the toppings.
Mate, it's a bit hectic.
So what would you get at Meat Lovers?
Just got to meat lovers, scratched off the
So
bread.
what's that, like bacon, pepperoni?
Yeah.
What
meat?
was
Just
it?
like a
What-
meat
so
loaf.
you didn't have the carbs of the
No.
bread?
Yeah, you just have
Is that the
you
point
just have
of
the
it?
toppings. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, it was actually
What does
semi
it go to?
good.
Domino's crust?
Crust is,
Yeah, crust is
crust is
Crust.
unbeaten.
Tell you what's also good, Arthur's at Randwick. Maybe a little sponsorship plug. We'll go see him. Yeah, that's
Bondi
very good.
pizza. The
Bondi
pepperoni.
pizza's good, yeah.
The pepperoni pizza is the second best pizza I've ever had. Clovelly Hotel being number 1, of course.
I tell you the other thing as well. Like, what's the limit you'll pay for a pizza? So bear in mind, it was a surcharge.
$21.
I went to get a pizza at the Newport Arms. We don't really know anyone there, so we'll say it. And there was a bit of burrata on it
Yeah.
and some olives,
What's burrata?
cheese. You know the thing that toddies that everyone does because they think they're
You
Is that
pop it.
burrata?
yeah. How much you reckon?
For that, I'm just going to go because you're fucking infuriating.
Sunday
I'm gonna say
surcharge.
$32.
Sunday
35.
surcharge.
Around 35. Got to round it up.
It can't be more than that.
42.
42.
Oh, come on.
And you bought it,
No way.
but you just said you had a pizza.
Yeah, at a Gambari. because the burrata one was $44.
And how much was the Gamberry?
27.
That's still a lot.
It's steep.
It was nice. I don't mind paying if it's a nice pizza, but 44
Not at a pub.
for a little bit of burrata.
Not at a pub.
Do
If
me
you're
a
going out,
favour.
going for a nice date,
But it's a
take
nice
the
pub.
pizza out. You know what I mean? You can pay a bit, but you're not going to a pub and paying $40 that
Are you going to
for
double in on a
pizza.
bit of burrata tonight, Paddy?
Yeah, you know what I might do?
Yeah?
I just might do so. You never know. Seen the new Top Gun as well. So,
Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah, I
Apparently
am.
it's sick. I haven't seen it
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't seen number one, but anyway, we'll see how it goes.
I don't think anyone's seen number one.
Yeah,
Actually,
I went to
that's-
watch
that's
it, and it was
a-
from
that's a stretch.
1986. I don't watch movies
Oh, you
before
haven't seen it?
2005.
Yeah.
So you don't watch movies before 2000 and...
5.
When did ABC Night Guide come out? 2000. Yeah, to be honest, I don't really watch movies past 2000. Maybe Gladiator, maybe.
Never seen it.
I
haven't
don't
seen
even know if
Gladiator?
that was before 2000 though. Might have just
Don't
been
know.
around
I
2001.
haven't seen all those movies. Star
Tell you
Wars,
I
never
love-
seen.
I never
Harry
seen
Potter,
Star
never got
Oh, I
into.
tried
Lord
to
of
get
the Rings,
in
never
the
got.
Phantom Menace the other day. Couldn't do it.
What's
Phantom
that?
Menace, the first
What's your
one.
favourite movie?
Wow, big questions.
I got a couple. Scarface. Goated.
Good movie.
And then I do love myself Shutter Island.
Fuck, the plot twist on Shutter Island. Oh.
I reckon the best thing about that movie is like you watch it the second time. I reckon it's better the second time you
Yeah,
watch
because
it.
you pick up on the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
details.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got
That's a great movie.
2. I reckon first one might be Invictus, the rugby one about South Africa.
Yeah,
with,
that's,
seen that.
that's a good movie.
Mandela.
That's a good
But a
movie.
funny one would probably be The Longest Yard.
Yeah, it's cracker too.
Longest Yard is a cracker. And I just, those movies where you just laugh, but even though when you know it's like, you know what's coming.
Like a Step Brothers.
Like Step Brothers.
Step Brothers,
It's just
OJ.
Adam Sandler. I know people.
He's got a new movie with
Yeah, looks. It's on Netflix. I'm gonna watch it.
LeBron James directed it.
It's about a
It's got
basketball.
Anthony Edwards in it.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems was sick too.
NBA Finals.
Uncut Charms.
What is
Okay.
your prediction as our NBA?
Golden State in 6. Put the house on it.
That might upset our most recent guest, Nick Kyrgios. He's a mad Celtics fan.
And
Is
his,
he?
and his car.
And his car, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tesla.
Shame.
That looked good
Golden
in
State
the
in 6.
Alexandria factories, didn't
It
it?
did look good. It parked outside, yeah.
You can't miss it, can you?
No, you can't
Fluoro
miss
Tesla.
it. It's a nice looking car. Someone I wish I could afford myself. But anyway,
Mm.
even while we're on the topic of Nick Kyrgios, guys, I just want to thank you all for the support that was shown. We're actually in the podcast charts in 10 different countries. We'll listen to over 15 countries. Obviously, it was just trending everywhere. So really appreciate it. A few articles written on it. And just obviously thanks to you guys for tuning in and listening to it.
It's a funny one. Hey, we were talking about this just before we came on. When we sort of were looking for guests at the start of the year, we all sort of wrote down 1 or 2 people who would love to have on, or who our biggest star was target, and we all put down Nick Kyrgios. And then it happened, and now I think this last 2 weeks it's been a bit like,
Now what?
all right, well, where are we going to go to now? So I think, yeah, as Paddy said, thank you for the
Al
support,
Pacino.
and don't underestimate how much we absolutely love it and need your support.
Yeah, I think we're just knocking on the door of the Gypsy King while we're at it.
Yeah, Al Pacino first and then Gypsy King.
Would be good. But yeah, a bit of manifestation there. Do you guys manifest?
100%.
Like law of attraction.
Yeah, like you manifest something coming to reality.
Yeah, it doesn't happen but for me.
No, you're not trying hard enough.
Oh, trust me, I'll try hard enough, but just,
What was the last one you tried? You're probably so unrealistic.
I'd rather not say.
Yeah, and manifesting Margot Robbie at the end of the bed.
Nah.
I think it's a bit more. I definitely think it works, but I think it's a lot more about your energy and like how you are with people, what you bring, what you're working towards.
So is that what your crystals tell you?
I don't have
So like
crystals, mate.
spiritually? Is that like a spiritual thing?
I don't do drugs.
Is that like
yeah,
a spiritual
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Have you guys seen that podcast with Graham Abbo Henry on the Gypsy Tales podcast?
Can't say I have, no.
10 out of 10 listens. So he's like in the 70s and 80s, he was kind of like a gangster in the underworld and everything. It was just all the best. So everyone he knows is either dead or in jail. So he just kind of come out and he can say everything he needs to say without getting anyone in trouble. But he's mad on the spiritual stuff. And he reckons one time he was meditating and he got so deep into his meditation that he goes, no word of a lie, my soul came out of my body and then got sucked back in. And he goes, I've never ever got to that state again. But he goes, I was just so in that relaxed state from meditating and whatnot. Do you meditate?
That's rubbish.
You meditate,
I
don't
think
you?
that was someone else on the end of the bed. But anyway, I've tried. I'm more just about like trying to stop my thoughts and just be, maybe present for a couple of
present,
minutes. I've tried that. I was getting into a good routine, and I think I was up to like 3 or 4 minutes non-stop. where
As
I
in
could
just lying there.
just sitting and just like not thinking about a thing.
Fuck, that's tough.
Very tough. But I found
You
that
just stare at the wall.
Just close your eyes.
Stare at the roof.
Close your
And
eyes.
you're just thinking nothing.
Just thinking nothing. But I it's hard. I obviously like Marky Mitchell talks about this as well, is constantly training your brain
Yeah.
to be that tough. But an out of body experience is what he experienced. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he
I
experienced.
actually had an out of body experience at Listen Out.
Yeah, mate, you weren't meditating. I can promise you that.
I was.
No,
I
you were not.
definitely was brain
You
training.
weren't meditating.
Brain
but-
training.
Yeah, I was brain training.
Speaking on big weekends,
Nintendo dogs.
Drewy, you just had one the past weekend in the Northern Beaches,
Yeah.
and I went over to Melbourne for the Cambosis fight. And we got back. We were both speaking about. We were both pretty good before we left. Feeling pretty good, but then coming back, just kind of got hit like a ton of bricks.
Noisy
Calm down.
boys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it's kind of. So I just want to kind of talk about that when before I left, I was on top of the world. Like I was really good, probably the best I've been in ages. And I got back and I was just like, wow, like
Yeah.
you just see the effects of just what drinking. I only drank, so just seeing the effects of what drinking, but you throw drugs in there as well and what that can do. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I actually think like talking about it and being a bit more aware of it definitely helps. You know, I
Yeah.
found myself waking up and then just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna feel like this, so I've just got to go out. Went for a swim, got a coffee. We actually all went for breakfast, things like that. So I think becoming aware of it and just acknowledging, all right, well, that's going to be a price that I pay. I'm not thinking. Don't think too much further into it. You know,
Yeah.
just that's how I'm going to feel. And then I know we were talking about this before as well. I did a sauna. And oh wow,
Boys,
Yeah, I
saunas
did
are
that in
actually
Melbourne
like
too.
they're huge for it.
Yeah.
I reckon the best thing you can do, especially for people that live in the east, for our listeners, is for Sunday scaries, you have to get up.
yeah,
You have to go do something. Go for a swim. Go for a sauna. Mate, you'll feel so much
What do you
better the next
feel
day.
when you say the Sunday scare is anxiety and whatever? What do you feel? You're waking up hungover. What do you
I've got
feeling like?
vice wrapped around my head.
Like
And
yeah,
it just
right.
gets tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah, and going outside relieves that.
Yeah. Well, you just have to. It's just a mindset thing. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't feel sorry for yourself because, like, you. went
Yeah,
out,
you put yourself
did
in
it,
that position. You knew what was coming.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I see it as, and I say this as a couple of times where I tend to get myself a bit worked up. Is you just I'm just so aware of what's going on. So say like if I'm like depressed and kicking stones the next day, I was like, okay, well I know why I'm kicking stones. Like it's not because I went out and embarrassed myself last night, which I probably like it's half the reason why. But you know what I mean? Like you just overthink. You're just overthinking about the reasons. It's like that goes for anything as well. Is that when you're feeling depressed or like anxious or anything, like just being aware of okay, I'm anxious is just the first step of kind of climbing out of that hole.
Yeah, acknowledging it.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if
it
you're just
does.
going, why am I feeling this way? It's like it doesn't matter. It's like you're feeling that way.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now?
Yeah, that's the first step. You know
Instead
what
of
I
trying
mean?
to push it away.
The more like it's like quicksand. Like the more you move and try to get out of it, like the less like you are to sink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just take a deep breath and
You
'cause
said
I-
vice grip. I think for me, it's just like my thoughts are like not control me, but my thoughts are just me, you know? Whereas they're normally just like I'm able to just do what I want to do, push them to the
do you
side.
get head noise about the night before? Going like, "Fuck, what did I do?" Like
Do you ever
that?
get the
Not
phone call?
really.
Phone call from your mate going,
Oh mate,
you
yes.
should have seen yourself
Yeah,
last.
mate, it's-
Oh no.
Oh, you just don't tell me. Seriously, Just
Don't get me wrong.
tell me.
Don't get me wrong. I live for that. Like
Yeah.
live for embarrassing myself on a night out. But
As long as it's not too bad. But yeah, I've had
Yeah.
the phone call. But I get real bad anxiety. Like if I drink, like so then got back from Melbourne, honestly, I went there Thursday, came back Monday. So that was just a huge session of just
Sick.
drinking.
Yeah.
Didn't recover till Friday. Then I went out to the Roosters game Saturday, free alcohol. Another massive night.
Yeah.
Woke up, today's Monday, I still feel shit. But I get the next day, I just get the worst anxiety, like just panic attacks and anxiety attacks all day just from drink. But then it's just me telling myself, mate, you knew this was going to happen. You decided you still wanted to go out and you wanted to enjoy yourself. You thought it'd be worth going out and drinking. Don't sit here and fucking stare at your walls and feel sorry for yourself.
don't
Now
get me wrong.
out and
Don't get
do
me wrong. It's a
something.
good it's a good night.
Oh, it's
you
a
know
good- I
what
had a great
Well,
night.
it's good to enjoy and go out and be social.
Like you
and
need,
stuff
like you need
that.
it. The past couple of weeks, because I've actually had an injury. I've actually did my hamstring. What was it now? 6 weeks ago, and then I redid it 2 weeks ago. But before the first time I did it, when I did my hamstring, I got off the piss for a bit just because I just wanted to recover. I honestly like turned into Superman. I felt that good.
It's crazy.
Mate, it's a whole different world on Sunday.
Crazy.
It's a whole different world. Like getting up, like if you like get up early on Sunday and just like go out.
And it changes your whole week,
It's
but
weird
after that.
because usually I'm in the Uber home on Sunday morning looking at people like going for a coffee. You know what I mean? And now I'm the person getting coffee, looking at guys in Ubers going home, and you feel.
Where would you rather be?
Say the right answer.
Yeah,
You'd want to go enjoy yourself, but you see the benefit that not going out has.
100%. But I think as well, like going out every because like I feel like when I was going out every weekend, you just lose the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you're just doing it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing at the beginning of the year, just going out every weekend. I was going through a bit of a shit time, and I would just be like, fuck it, let's just, every weekend I'd just thrash myself.
Don't get me wrong, if I wasn't doing footy, I'd probably be close to going out every weekend.
But it's just so good when you're not drinking. Like, and even that next week, like, you wake up Monday morning sweet and fresh for work. Like, you're motivated to go to work. Otherwise, I'll wake up Monday, and this I speak to Silky about this, my boss.
You're definitely more
I'll say,
motivated, I
like,
reckon, because like
1000%.
to say if I'm getting on the piers, even at training wise, like I'm chasing my tail like the whole way through. If that makes sense. Like I'm going, all right, well, I've just recovered a bit. I'll fucking get a good night's sleep and then I'll feel good tomorrow. Whereas like I'm coming in fresh on Monday, I'm going, fuck, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like Sunday. Sunday you're chasing your tail going, fuck, what can I do to make myself feel better?
Yeah.
Like if you're not on the piers, you're going, fuck, like,
I feel like you're very good at going out in moderation. Like when there's something on, like I feel like you'll never kind of just go out for the sake of it, which is fucking really good.
Yeah.
How do you manage your way through that?
Well, I think obviously having a girlfriend helps.
Paddy?
Luca?
But because you obviously want to spend time with them. But I think, as
That's not
well,
what you tell us. But
that's like I know, and I think that's something I cherish with our mates. That like a Saturday night is watching the footy and getting a dinner.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's just
something.
about after that, but at the dinner, do you have 2-3 beers and then all
No,
of a
you
sudden?
just go out, watch the footy, and go back to something like
so I can't do that. It's either I'm out or I'm not out.
No, but I'm talking about out. I'm talking about just go get a feed. Like I'm just talking like
Yeah, relax. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not saying we have to go to a pub and stuff
okay.
like that. I'm
Okay,
just saying we
yeah,
go
yeah.
get a feed and then watch the footy. That's something I think I really enjoy with my mates. And yeah, like people go out, but it's also what you enjoy. And the thing that I think I'm lucky with teaching, like some days I'm there till 5:30, but 2 days of the week I'm sort of done by 3:30. So I've got 2 or 3 hours to do what I want.
And 12 weeks holidays a year.
And 16 weeks paid holidays a year. But the other thing, dealing with 16-year-old Luca Moretti's,
you deserve 18 weeks.
deserve 20. No, but like what I'm trying to say is some people work obviously 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And then going home at 5:36, they're making dinner, they're watching TV, then they're going to bed and then they do it the next day. So I think then they get to Saturday and they're like, let me out.
Yeah, well, I was having this discussion with a good mate of ours the other day actually, and he works really hard. He's got a lot of pressure on himself, and then he gets to the weekend and he just kind of lets his hair down and goes nuts, and he'll go out, and that's his coping mechanism. And it got to the point where I was just kind of like, hey man, how are you? Like, what's going on? And he goes, yeah, I'm good, because he had a huge night the night before, and I went home at about 1-ish, and I know they kicked on. And I was like, how you feeling? He goes, oh yeah, I've been better. And I was like, what's been going on? Like, you've been fucking flogging yourself lately. And he goes, man, I just work so hard. It's my only outlet. And I just said, well, have you tried like another way to reduce the stress that you get during the week? And we actually had a really good discussion. He goes, oh, I've never really thought about it that way. Like, growing up in the eastern suburbs, that's kind of it. You go out on a weekend and you just go out, and that's your way to release everything. And then we had a good discussion. We put some things in place of, maybe try this or try this and do this and this. And one Sunday you'll be waking up fresh, and guess what? That next week at work, you'll be even more productive and less stressed because you'll be getting more done. So I think there's other ways than just going out and drinking and getting on it to relieve that stress, and ways that'll make you feel better. Otherwise, you just get stuck in a cycle.
Well, I also think it's back to what people want, how people want to look.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're happy with yourself and you're happy with not going out, you're happy with having every couple of Saturdays off, well, then you're more likely to put the time into yourself. Whereas if you want to go out and keep up appearances, you can say, oh, you go out in moderation as much as you want. But if you're not really happy with yourself And it's a totally new topic, but I think that's where a lot of people get into trouble because they're like, oh, I'm going to miss out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a part of that.
FOMO's huge.
FOMO's huge.
Yeah. I get big FOMO. Because,
I think everyone gets it.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, take it from this weekend. I mean, it was a Queen's birthday long weekend. Oh, that didn't sound right. Was it long weekend? Queen's birthday.
It was a bank holiday.
The bank holiday.
Yeah. First ever
Queen's.
No, it was the first ever bank the Queen robbed. It was in commemoration.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was.
It's the Queen's birthday.
No, it was. It was the birthday of the first bank she ever robbed.
Shut up.
What do you think they send the convicts here?
Shut up. Anyway, so just broken the mic.
Take this long weekend, for example.
Hold it. All right. So take this long weekend, for example.
Queen's birthday.
Queen's birthday. Yeah. When she robbed the bank.
Yeah. First bank. ANZ it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
No,
I remember
no
it,
way,
wasn't it?
no way,
I
no
remember
way,
it like it was
no
yesterday.
way,
I actually
way.
got Commonwealth written all over
Kim
it.
Wasabi.
Bendigo.
Bendigo or Bankwest?
You wouldn't get much.
But anyway,
out of
what I
Bendigo,
was saying. So we have they're actually playing now. The boys had a game on Monday. So they had a long weekend on Monday. And that means that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, I mean, all my buddies went out. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looked like a good time, but, you know, I was just sitting at home and there's nothing I could do about it. But that's just...
As you're talking your mates away from footy, yeah?
Yeah. So my mates away from footy who, again, got the long weekend, that work, you know, your typical 9 to 5, either on the tools or behind the desk. And I mean, good on him. I mean, you know, they deserve that. But at the same time, it's just like, you got to make that sacrifice. And for me, it's like, because I have spent a couple of weeks off the piss, I now know, like, I'm definitely not missing out on anything. And it's the same thing for everybody. It's just like, it's just another night out. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's good night out and bad night out.
I think it's if you're doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
I think as well that FOMO plays a big part. And it plays a big part in me. It's like I just put my phone down this weekend. I mean, I was watching Phantom Menace last night. I mean, all my mates were, you know, kicking on the piss. And it hurt because I had training this morning. But I mean,
That's what you got to do.
it's the pros and cons. I mean, if I go out get on the piss, I mean, like, what am I really doing? Like, just there for a shit yarn and then, you know,
shit the next day. So that's the sacrifice you make for your career, yeah. And then
Yeah.
you can just relate that to a normal, say we're talking about mental health.
Yeah.
The sacrifice you can make is,
But
do you wanna
I feel
feel good that next day?
so much better the next day.
yeah.
I feel so much better the next day. Just not the fact of, you know, I feel good, like physically, but mentally I feel so good because I'm like, you know what? I was strong enough to say no. I was strong enough to go home. I didn't give in, like I didn't crack in, which is, again, it's a huge thing. And, you know, for me being off the piss for a bit with my hammy, that was a big thing. To say like I was going out every, you know, second, third weekend. So having a couple of weeks off, the first weekend was the hardest one because I'm going, fuck, I'm missing out. Like, I don't want to check my phone, put my phone down, and you wake up Sunday going, oh, you know, I text the boys, like, what happened? Like, what happened?
Get in the group chats.
And then I had the biggest FOMO the next day. I'm going, fuck, you know, I should have gone out. Like, fucking missed out on a good night. The second week, I was just like, you know what? Like, fuck, what am I missing out on? You know what I mean? All the boys texting on Monday going, fuck, I feel that shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, like waking up at 5 to go on the tools. Like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. You know, I'm never drinking again. I feel grouse Monday going to training.
Yeah.
I think as well, like we said, having something else, maybe a partner or just finding a few friends that enjoy, you know, like we said, just going out for a dinner or something. I think the other thing as well is like, again, coming back to who we are, like boys, young men, there is an expectation that we're just going to write ourselves off if we go out with each other.
Yeah.
And like we all know, you've been in a group where like the first two people to leave, everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, you give them shit for it.
You
Yada,
give them
yada,
shit
yada,
for
yeah.
it. But it's like, hey, those two are probably going to feel the best out of this group tomorrow morning.
100%, yeah. And it comes back to our podcast with Will the other day when we were talking about being comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
So if if some...
I reckon that's huge.
I think that's the biggest thing, because you can either... If you're at home missing out, you're going, fuck this. One, I don't even want to be at home by myself. I'm not really good with it. Two, I could be going and doing this. But if you're happy to be like, you know, I'm going to go home, put on a movie, throw on a face mask, you know,
Cucumber.
and a bit of cucumber, and just go and keep the feet up, put maybe a little spa bath, like whatever you're feeling. tug the old fella.
There's actually
What
nothing.
to do.
There's actually nothing better than that.
Then tugging yourself.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing better than a good wake, but no, there's actually nothing better than just kicking your feet up and just having a night in, I reckon.
But then how good is it when you enjoy being in your own company and then you're not missing out on things?
See, that was a big thing for me
it.
because I hate being alone. So I moved out at the start of maybe midway through last year, I think. And anyway, so I live by myself now. Granddad's little granny flat. I hated it at the start. I always had to have people over, always had to have someone over. And just like, again, I could not go out on a Saturday night because I'm going like, if I'm sitting on a Saturday night in my house alone, like I'm going to go fucking nuts. Like the walls are going to close in, keep talking to me. But again, what you said about what Will was talking about last week, just being comfortable by yourself, that's so huge. Like that's so huge just for everything as well. Like just being comfortable being by yourself. Like being comfortable,
Are you getting better at it, you reckon?
100%.
What's changed
I love
about
being
it?
by myself.
What do you
now.
think's changed about it?
Again, I've just the awareness. Like if I'm feeling shit and like I'm by myself, like a couple of years ago, I would have been running around going, "Oh fuck, do you want to link up? Like, do you want to go do something? Like, I need to go do something. I'm going to go for a drive." But now it's just like, all right, I'm just feeling shit. I'm just going to flick a movie on and put my feet up.
Yeah.
And just being aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With you.
I think as well, people think, that's just pushing it away. Well, it's not pushing it away. It's just making yourself sort of feel, okay, well, I'm actually really tired now. I'm not feeling too good, so I'm just going to do something that's going to make me forget about it, and then I'll tackle it in the morning when I can. But I think that you got to be at the stage, like you've sort of said over the last couple of ones when we've had a chat to you, recognizing yourself and where you're at with your own mental health.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable now to go, well, okay, I'm not going to feel like this in the morning. I'm just going to do something. I'm going to put my feet up, enjoy my time, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
pretty good.
Because I personally very rarely wake up feeling as shit as I did the night before. Like if I'm having a bad night the night before, I generally wake up with a new perspective the next morning. I don't know about you guys. Unless I'm in like a really bad run and it's just like you feel depressed all the time and you wake up and you're still depressed. But in regards to like feeling really anxious and stuff like that, if I just get myself through the night, I know that next day is just a new day and I do wake up feeling better. And then all of a sudden, the stuff I was worrying about the night before, I could almost laugh to myself, like, fuck me, man.
I reckon you feel
kept you up at night.
I reckon you feel good about yourself because you go, you know what, I did that. I'm strong enough to get through it. And you go, again, like, I was big on journaling for a bit. So I used to journal heaps. And there's stuff you write in there. And I went through it the other day and I was looking through stuff and I was going, mate, if I could go back, like I sound like the biggest bitch. Like respectfully, like I sound like the biggest bitch because what I was writing down about, like it was so silly, so stupid, half the stuff. And like if my past self was talking to my future self, like I would just laughed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's what a lot of people.
Yeah. But it's just seeing what you wrote and seeing your handwriting and it actually coming out. It's so like
writing it down helps.
Oh, 100%. It's that manifestation.
Because as much as it is not trying to put a burden on somebody. Like when you are in that state, you do feel like you're putting a burden on someone, saying, "Hey, Drew, can we talk?"
Yeah.
You're feeling anxious because you're going, "Oh fuck!" Like I know he doesn't want to talk to me, even though like you probably want me to talk to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You feel that burden, but writing it down, it's more subtle. It's more, what's the word for it? Your self-development, I think, is massive. And again, that's just been the awareness of like yourself and being comfortable with yourself. Yeah, so I think that's massive. But yeah, that's what helps me, journaling. Yeah,
I've done a bit of journaling as well throughout the last year.
I've only done it once, yeah. Do you enjoy it?
I think it's good. I do it in waves.
It's not for everyone.
Like everything. Yeah. You do it in waves. Because there's times where you're not feeling good, you go, I'm going to do it. Times where you're feeling great, you go, I'm going to do it. But yeah, I think like Luca said, it's more just about putting everything in perspective. And I think weeks down the line, you can sort of go, wow, like that's what I was wasting my time on.
Yeah. I only have done it once, but I felt like when I wrote it all, it was just like a weight off my shoulder. 100%. It's like when you speak to someone and you tell them stuff. Obviously, it's great to speak to people, and we couldn't recommend it more. I do it all the time. But this one night, it was late. I was laying in bed, and I thought, fuck, I'm just going to write down everything. And I just wrote down, probably a few months ago, and I just wrote down everything. And then I just felt like an instant. It was like I'd told someone almost. But I just written it on my little booklet.
I reckon the best advice you give yourself. You know what I mean? So say like if I wrote something down and I look back on it and I'm going, well, like that's stupid, that's silly. I don't know why I wrote that. Like if I was talking to you, you'd go, oh, that's silly. That, and you kind of like half
Doesn't resonate.
Yeah, well, you're half thinking about it, you're half going, yeah, but there's other factors that play in. But
when you write
actually taking a step back, you know what I mean? Taking a step back, having a couple of weeks to sit on it, and then looking back at it, you're just going, yeah, okay. And I feel like again that self development that's huge for again being comfortable with your own skin because you're then realizing, how silly it sounds because it's different coming from you than it is from coming from somebody else.
Yeah.
If that makes
like
sense.
Nick Kyrgios said the other day, he said it's a scary level of freedom when you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's so true. Like when you are, I go in waves as well. I get when I'm comfortable and I'm not, it's just like a big wave. But when you are, it's just like, it seriously is a scary level of freedom. You don't give a fuck about anything. Like you seriously just I could not give two shits about anything when I'm at that. It's like a high almost. It's almost like a drug high. You're literally just on top of the world and you're just like fucking, I just love everything.
Wouldn't be second guessing anything.
Nothing, yeah.
You'd be willing, like you look, and he said it before, he's like, I'm willing to make mistakes and learn from it. You'd just be so confident in your decision making and like cognitive ability to just go, all right, let's go.
Well, like you're your own main character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to, like when you're not trying to.
Just watch the clicking.
Oh yeah, shit. Like when you're not trying to please anybody else, again, respectfully, not being a dickhead about it, but if you're not trying to please anybody else and you're just being yourself, again, like you said.
That's
like
it, pleasing someone,
Yeah, you just unlock this new sense of freedom and you just feel, again, so much more comfortable in everything that you do. Even if it's just walking down, like even just, going for a coastal walk. I mean, like.
We're going to have to bring that back when the weather gets to turn up talk walks.
Yeah. But you take the dog with you too as well. I know what you're up to,
I do take a little puppy
I know
down with me.
exactly what you're up to.
Ronnie is actually the grouse. He has worked wonders for me. Why else do you get a puppy?
I'm saying, mate. Good on you, brother.
Yeah. I know you won't be getting a puppy. You're locked up, aren't you?
You'll be having a kid
I'm
soon.
getting a puppy, mate.
Yeah.
I want a dog.
You're a sick puppy, mate. That's what you are.
You are a sick puppy.
This is the one in the flunny and the Jaguars hat. We said before that, at the start of the year, we wrote down, who's one person you get on, and we all said Nick Kyrgios.
Al Pacino.
There was Al Pacino as well, but the main one was Nick Kyrgios. So we've been doing this our third year.
Yeah.
Or fourth.
Third. You're a teacher.
1, 2,
2019.
Fourth. Yeah.
2020, 2021.
Okay, we're about to be.
That's 3, Lochie.
Yeah,
We're about 2.5.
Sorry.
No, we're probably 2 and 8 months. We started in October 2019.
We did. Okay. So third year. So speaking of Nick Kyrgios and what we sort of spoke about before, like, we put our sort of biggest star down. Who could we talk to? And Nick Kyrgios was at the top of the list. Al Pacino was up there for some as well.
Close second.
We've been doing this now for 3 years.
2 years, 8 months.
2 years, 8 months. What's your boy's favourite memory? Like, is there something that stands out? I'll give you some time. I'll start off. I think mine is when we finished last year in the top 3 mental health podcasts in Australia. And I think that was something that a lot of people have respected what we've done. We have been inconsistent at times.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that for a lot of people was like, wow, like that's a pretty cool feat. And I think it didn't really jerry with me until a few people messaged me and I was like, yeah, you know what? That is actually pretty cool that we've done this basically through our own contacts.
Yeah.
Through people that we know, but also through a lot of hard work, a lot of energy, like we said before. So that's probably mine. What about you?
I think mine was at the very, very start. So it was just kind of the process of, like, even what I was saying before, like, when we were talking about this before, how we're all sitting in the Radio Hub studios and their, what do you call it?
Camille.
Our design.
Yeah.
Design.
Their design manager
Yeah.
made us our logo. And we all looked at it, we were like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And then going on from there and like doing our first podcast. And then after the podcast, all looking at each other going, fuck, yeah, like we've got something here. And then, but again, in saying all that, after releasing the first podcast, just the reception we got from everybody. I mean, again, just going out and just going, people coming up to you and going, mate, I really respect what you're doing. Like that was the best thing for me. Like Because again, like it's different doing it for us, but then for doing it for somebody else and actually receiving, feedback and going, oh, I really respect this. I really needed this. Like that was the best thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. Just even now, like if you just, obviously people message us still just saying, guys, thank you for what you're doing. Like it's really helped me.
Yeah.
Just that is just like fucking wow.
Yeah.
But I've loved the golf days.
Yeah.
The golf
they've
day.
been
And
good
again, that comes back to just seeing the community get around what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's always a fun night. It's just it's after it, you're just so burnt out because it obviously takes a lot of organising and the probably the month leading up to is just absolute of a shit fight. But just the day on itself, you just kind of let your hair down and go, like, we've worked so long for this, and just seeing everyone get around it. And like I said, it's always just so much fun.
It's good fun.
But then the next week's just hell, to be honest, because you just crash.
Mm.
You're just so on this high, and then you just crash, and you're so burnt out. And like, fuck, now it's all done.
We didn't look too burnt out at the Cloverleaf afters.
Oh no, they're not burnt out then.
Yeah.
They get me that next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was probably for me. But what about moving?
And
to
you
the
weren't
future?
going there for the 241 pizzas, were you?
No, I
They
wasn't.
didn't have them that night.
Yeah,
They stopped. They only had 240 chefs.
Right.
one pizza each. But moving forward, Drewy, what's on the cards for us at Turn Up the Talk?
Yeah, wow. Well, we were chatting about this, like I've said many times in this before, because we like to get in and prep our podcast
Vigorously
episodes,
prep.
as you could tell.
Aggressive
Preparation.
Hardcore.
And we've said wellness centers, and I think a lot of people go, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And then that's it. And then they don't really think much more about it. And we've sort of been putting some effort in towards that. I guess as well, we would love your feedback on what you would like to see. Yeah. We definitely want to do a wellness center. For us, that wellness center looks like a safe place where people can come, chill out, maybe do something for their fitness. We'll obviously run our Pilates classes there of a morning with Hattie. And that's sort of something that we're looking towards, a place where you can look after all sort of parts of your health, have a counsellor there so we can have sessions, have chats. So, maybe one might be on grief or anything like that people are going through. We can sort of do them intermittently so that different types of people are coming towards us. But please shoot us a message if you feel like there's a space for this in the community that you're in, or that someone has done it and we think that we could take an idea off them. But yeah, we're literally, I think at the moment we're just working towards, okay, well, we're going to have to get some funding for it, but it's a lot of funding very passionate topic of ours that we want people to, you look at the recoveries, obviously there's only one, but that's at Coogee. So you go there, you can do saunas, hot and cold baths, Normatic massages. Yeah, Normatec. So those shoots that go on your legs that obviously help promote, but that's more a very physical thing that people do after exercise, where you would like something like that, but a more sort of mental health connection as well.
A mental recovery,
but maybe a little coffee machine as well. So we can sit down, make a coffee.
Yeah, was talking about that.
Could do dinner as well. 241 pizzas.
We'll get the chef from the Clovelly Hotel.
Guys, also, if you have been enjoying our podcast, please like and subscribe. Obviously, YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Apple or Apple Podcast, or wherever you do get your podcasts. We really appreciate your support. The feedback's been really good. Give us a follow on Instagram at Turn Up the Talk. All of our stuff. We're not too big on Facebook at the moment. It's kind of if you post to Instagram, the metaverse, Zuckerberg the lizard. If you post to Instagram, we just post to Facebook. So not really big. But TikTok, we're on TikTok. Turn Up the Talk, nearly at the 10K. So we appreciate your support, guys, and
make sure you go to Pack Lifton as well. TikTok private account.
Private account.
No way.
You see this bloke's TikTok?
I haven't got
heavy.
TikTok.
You've got an OnlyFans, don't you?
Do me a favour.
I got OnlyFans. Luca
ya?
Moretti with a 0 for the O. Look me up.
What's on there?
No, you don't.
Just fucking dirty feet peaks.
How much you charge?
The pins,
lot.
what'd you call them before?
The puppies.
Oh, man, I'm looking
the
at
hot
one
dogs.
big bruised toe, and that ain't worth much. That's
Yeah,
just gotta,
she's about to fall off this one.
Yeah.
There's a hot price
there
on
must
this
be
one, eh? There's a hot price
must
on
be
this
some
one.
sickos out there
You're a
just waiting
sicko.
for
Oh,
it.
you wouldn't have a clue.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.